Hey, welcome to Sports and Politics with T. I'm your host, Tanya. Tonight we have made it back to Monday, guys. Listen, I hope everybody has enjoyed their weekend. We have made it to the end of September, y'all. Let's give it up. That's right. 2 more days, guys, and it will be October the 1st. Listen, I want to say we're going to talk about a few things tonight about the job market, the unemployment numbers, how things are looking as far as the economy. We've talked a lot about EBT, and we've talked about the food stamp phenomenon. We've also talked about Section 8, but we're also going to talk about tonight the job market, what things are looking like as far as employment. Come to find out that as Black women, since Donald Trump has taken office, 300,000 Black women have left the workforce, unexpected or voluntarily. We're going to talk about those numbers a little bit later on tonight. And also, guys, I'm going to tell you, I actually went live this past Saturday as a surprise. And to my surprise, I was so happy to see the interaction that we were discussing on, Section 8 and how people feel about, EBT and all that stuff. And I got a lot of feedback. Okay. So thank you to all the people that chimed in on Saturday, all the ones that, sent comments and, liked and, just all that stuff. All that stuff really helps the channel. And thank you for the interaction as well. Okay. But tonight I decided I'm not going to do live, but I am going to talk about, again, the job market, where we stand as of today, since this is the 9th month going into the 10th month. Is things getting better? The number says otherwise, okay? So we're actually going to talk and listen to a lady. Her name is Marietta Coleman. This is one of my favorite channels on YouTube, and she's kind of like a mother figure. When I listen to her talk, she talks really nothing but truth, but she does a lot of warning. And I really like the fact that she's really on top of everything as far as the economy and where we are headed. We're going to talk about this actual video. Once it's over, I'm going to let you know how I feel about the job market and where we stand as far as Black women in America.
Marietta here, back with another video, y'all. I pray that all is well. Y'all know I was flipping through the internet and I saw a video that kind of, rattled my feathers a little bit. It kind of disturbed me that we're still in this place after all these years. I saw a video that said over 3,000 Black women have lost their jobs. 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs in 2025. 300,000. Or it might even be more than that. But I saw this video, and this video disturbed me. Why? Because I cannot believe we're still here in 2025. Not saying that it was just women, but literally targeting the fact of the Black woman. The Black woman, y'all. And that really bothered me. Why? Because as a Black woman myself, I was raised not to be racist. I was raised to love people for who they are. Y'all that know me know I have a Caucasian son. I love him with everything in me. And we're teaching our children to love from birth.
Pirates Voyage Dinner and Show, the most fun.
And we teach them to love and not to judge and not to love people for the color of their skin, but to love them for the character and whatever's in them, the content that they carry, from what I'm understanding. And this is what Mama taught me, and this is how I taught my kids. And we don't want to set our kids up for failure. We want our kids to be loving and respectful to all those that they meet that come across their path. I know the world is cruel, and I know there's a lot of cruel people in the world. And I know that it's hard to love anybody and everybody, but we were birthed from love. We were birthed from love. We were birthed from love. We were taught to love in a very early age. We were taught to treat people the way we would want to be treated, even though people do not treat us the way we want to be treated. But when you're talking about 300,000 Black women, not just women in general, not just women across the board, not just women of all races and nationality, it literally said Black women. So are Black women being targeted this season? Type it down in the comments what y'all think about that video that's going around the internet about 300,000 Black women losing their jobs in 2025.
Yeah, over 300,000 Black women.
video kind of disturbed me just from the title of it. Why? Because I know that there's a lot of people losing their job, and it's not just black women. It's black and white women, black and Latino women, all kinds of women are losing their job. A lot of men are losing their job. A lot of women and men are losing their position. And so therefore, we got to look at the fact that we're not just the only ones that are being put out of work. We're not just the only ones that are being priced out of our living conditions. And we're not just the only one that are struggling in this time, are struggling in this season. There's a lot of people struggling, and there's a lot of people that are out of work, that are going through, that don't know how they're going to make it. Y'all excuse my phone from bouncing all around because I am on the road. But, I mean, we got to come together and realize that, we need each other, no matter what color your skin is, or no matter what walks of life you come from. Everybody deserves to have a decent life and to be respectful to one another and love people for who they are, not for what they can do for you, not what color they are, not for what walks of life they come from. And we all know in a real world that would be wonderful, but right now we're living in a time where it seems like people have just forgotten about humanity, period. I mean, it's like saying, where is the love? Where did the love go? When did we stop loving people because of what they look like? When did we stop loving people because of what they look like? And why should we be stopping loving people because of what they look like? I don't really believe that was in God's plan. And we got so many people out here that are living that way. So many people out here that really think that way. That because I don't look like you, because I'm not the same, come from the same background as you, we can't be friends, we can't hang out, we can't eat off the same table, we can't work together, we can't help each other, but sure we can. Sure we can. It's a choice that you make. It's just a choice that you make. And a lot of people have grown up with a lot of hatred in their heart, and that is not good. We got to let that go, y'all. We got to figure out a way to let that go. And I know a lot of people will get in the comments and say it's been 100 years and 4,000 years, and we've been dealing with this all our life, and that is so much true. You're telling the truth. But what are we going to teach our next generation coming up? How are we going to teach them to love a generation that may not love them, and to be able to stand and to be able to be respectful and to be able to enjoy their life and to be able to be upright standing citizens in a world that's built on hatred? I mean, it's just something to think about, because we go through this life and we want to be valued, and we want to give value to other people. We want to respect other people, and we want to be able to see each and everybody prosper. But it's very hard when you got people that are coming against you for no reason. When you got people that don't see you the same. When you got people that look at you, and because they see the color of your skin, they don't want nothing to do with you, not knowing that you're a good person, good-hearted person, and you could be the very person that would be there, the only person be there to wipe their tail when they need somebody to be a blessing to them. And that's what I'm trying to say. Where it comes down to our children, this next generation coming up, we are still teaching our children to love. We're still teaching our children to respect other people, no matter who they are, as long as they give you respect, as long as they loving you, as long as they caring for you, as long as they treat you the way you should be treated. We're not teaching them to be segregated. We're not teaching that no more. That's over with. That's all old school foolishness. Because right about now, we all got mixed families. We got mixed families. There's no one race family. You got the races that mixed each other, they done mixed it all up, and now we got all the races mixed together, and so therefore you got children that may not look like you when you meet them. You got nieces and nephews that might come by the house and they might not look like you, and you got to be all right with that. You can't just love those because they're your family and hate the rest. You got to get to a place now where you learn that being interracial couples is out here. Interracial couples is out here, so they're out here and they're making children. They're building legacies. They're not worried about that. They could care less. They love their children for who they are. They love their children the way they are. They love their children the way God gave them to them. And there's nothing more beautiful than having a son or daughter that is biracial, because they make some beautiful babies. They do, and I mean, it's no lie. We can't act like we don't know that, because we do know that. So I said to myself, I'm gonna make a video about this. Why? Because it's just disturbing me to know that people are still pinpointing a certain group of people and my African American sisters that are out there that are grinding, that are making good money, that are thriving, that are trying to do what they need to do to survive in this world, and yet they're starting getting targeted, they're getting laid off, they're getting knocked down on every hand. It's just sickening. It's just truly sickening. It's just truly sickening. And I know we got to do better. We truly got to do better. Hold on. We do. We really got to do. We got to do better. We got to do better as a whole race together of how we handle each other, how we look out for each other, how we speak to each other, how we care for each other. It's just something to think about, y'all. It really truly is. As I was up early this morning, on my way into the city, I got to thinking about it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video about it. I'm going to make a video about it, and then that way, people know how I feel about that. Because when you start targeting people, and people get laid off and losing their livelihood because somebody don't like the color of their skin, to me, that is purely insane. To be going through that in 2025.
And she's right about that. Because the makeup for families is multicultural. It's multiracial. So at this point, I don't think there is not a family that don't have another race mixed within the races. And so to be targeted just because you're different or just because you're not the same color, this is 2025, guys. It's like, when are we going to evolve past that? I've never seen color, to be honest with you. When I was growing up, I had friends of all races. I did. And in fact, one of them is connected to me on Facebook now, and we still talk as of today, and just like a sister. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I know I talk about race on this channel, but when it comes to interacting with people, I interact with anybody. I interact with anybody who loves me. So it don't matter what your race is or your color or your sex or whatever. I don't care about any of that. I care about, is this a decent human being? Is this person a good person? Do we share the same mindset or values? So, and even if some of that is different, it's just the fact of just being a decent human being. That's what we have to get past. We have to get past or get towards. We have to get past all this bias and racism and prejudice and just if you're not like this person or if you're not like this over here, then you're cast away and all that. And I just think that's just sad, especially in 2025. People say, well, I think we've came a long way. We have. But in certain instances, I think we're going back to some of those old ways, especially with Donald Trump in the chair. I hate to say that, but to me, is trying to bring back that old history, so. But anyway, let's keep going.
Because truly, see, it's not even so much as all about them losing their job. It's about them losing their livelihood. It's about them losing their houses, losing their cars, not being able to fend for themselves, putting them in a state of need, in a state of lack, in a state of where they feel vulnerable because y'all know for sure, hallelujah will take care of you in heaven, but you need some money down here. Y'all see them at the gas station. See that gas station over there? Yeah. Hallelujah will take care of you in heaven. But you need some money down here. You really truly need some money down here. So people need to work. They need to work. There's no way they can be off work for long periods of time and be able to sustain themselves and to be able to pay their bills and raise their families. They got car notes to pay. They got every bill that any other race, any other nationality got to pay. They also got to pay. So it's like saying, yeah, my heart does go out to those that are in the workforce, those that are out there grinding and doing what they're supposed to do. And I'm seeing videos of these sisters out here and, they're feeling heartbroken because of the fact that they did everything right. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're trying to be upright, standing citizens. They done went to school. They done got their GEDs and got their degrees and they got that education behind them. But yet and still, they're being pushed down, knocked down for no fault of their own. They're just going to work. That's their only Problem they have is they went to work. They went to work, and then when they got to work, they were fired. When they got to work, they were laid off. When they got to work, they were dismissed. When they got to work, they were terminated. Nobody got time to be doing all this. It's just too much, and it is too much. It's too much for anybody to deal with, especially when you're a single parent and you ain't got no other income to fall back on but your own. And that's why Mom always said, God bless the child that has his own. So I'm going to encourage everybody today, even if you're doing well, it's time for you to start living below your means. It's time for you to start living below your means at this time. Start breaking some things down so you can live below your means, just in case if it has not happened to you, just in case it does happen to you, you will be prepared and be ready. But I know a lot of my sisters got caught off guard. They were not thinking about this, wasn't prepared for this, wasn't looking for this to happen. None of us was looking for a lot of this stuff that's going on in 2025 for it to happen. Let alone for it to be to a place where 300,000 black women are lost their job in 2025. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's way too much. That's too much to even discuss. But it needs to be discussed because that's disgusting for these girls to be out here, these young ladies, these women, these queens, not to be able to be out here fending for their families and to be able to make ends meet because now they've lost their job. Then if they get on the internet and ask for help, now y'all gonna look at them like they begging. You're gonna look at them like they scamming, or you're gonna look at them like they ain't no good and this, that, and the other thing, or they beneath you and this type of stuff. Because people do. I don't care what y'all say. As old as I am, I already know that when you ain't got no money, people do shun you. When you ain't got no money, they look at you different. When you ain't got no money and you ain't dressing right like they think you should dress, or you ain't dressing like part of the crowd no more, and your lips ain't done, your nails ain't done, this, that, and other thing. But I'm going to tell y'all, I may go get a manicure, but I'm not going to get no full set and all of that because that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money this season. I can't afford it. I'm not going to tell you no lie. I cannot afford it. See what my nails look like? They clean, but they short. I just cut them short. Just cut them short. And I'm going to go get my manicure, get me a pedicure, and then call it a day. That's just it. That's just it. I can't afford a full set now, but I can afford to take some paint them, and put some clear coat on top of them and let them do what they do. So, to all my sisters out there that are trying to make it happen, that are back in the workforce looking for work, standing strong, trying to reevaluate your situation and readjust your life, I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. Because I know it's rough out there. And it's only going to get rougher. This next generation, Lord knows, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to tell them as they begin to talk about how they're going to make it coming out of college next year. We don't know. We do not know. Because this year, we don't know what this year. It looks like this year has been rough all year long. It's been something, one thing after another. And we just have had to adjust. We just had to adjust. And I know the women of color feel like they're being targeted. I know they do. I know they do. And they probably are. We ain't going to underestimate the fact that that probably is exactly what's happening. Probably exactly what's happening. I mean, you got to look at the fact that a lot has happened. A lot has happened in this year. A lot has happened this year. But don't lose hope, y'all. Don't lose hope. Whatever you do, just adjust your crown and go ahead and adjust your life. Because you know we're all powerful sisters. We're powerful. We pull together when it's needed. We may be divided in some areas because of the fact that we've been divided all our life, but we have not learned to love each other. And that's another thing. We got to learn to come together and be there to help one another. Be there to lift each other up. Be there to speak life into each other's life. Because I love my queen sisters. I love y'all. I love y'all. I see y'all out there. I see you out there grinding. I see you out there trying to make it happen. I see you out there trying to get it done. Even y'all that's out there that's got 2 or 3 hidden kids, I see you trying to get it done. So just keep right on doing what you know to do and let God do the rest. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. I'm getting ready to go into this Circle K right here and grab myself a nice hot cup of coffee and get on down this road. Yeah. Get on down this road. I'm headed into the city, y'all. I love y'all. I just want to make a video and show my face this morning. Let y'all know I'm up. The girl is feeling good in my spirit. I'm praying for you sisters out there. And I thank God for y'all. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day.
All right, so you heard it from Marietta Coleman. Like I said, this is one of the channels I love to talk. She's just very warm, very uplifting and encouraging, but also just her wisdom. When you hear her talk, she's just very motherly, and you could just hear, the concern that she has for our culture. And that's the thing, 300,000 guys. And it's not just black women, but I wanted to focus on black women tonight because typically we do get targeted the most when it comes to the job market. And so, like she said, you could be doing everything right. You could be doing, going to school, getting your education, getting the right job, and then something happens unexpected with no fault of your own or no fault of anybody's own. So we just have to get better at being prepared and making sure that we're saving money, making sure that we're putting away something just in case of an emergency or something happens to your job, you have something to fall back on. So, but this is just, kind of something to kind of highlight. We're going to listen in on CNN now. They're going to talk about the job growth overall as far as this year. And then I'm going to break this video down once it's over and let you know how I feel about where we stand as of 2025.
Breaking moments ago, jobs growth slowed to a crawl last month. I want to bring in CNN's Matt Egan, who joins me now. So what are these numbers? What are we seeing in this?
Well, Omar, look, after years of resilience, the U.S. job market looks increasingly fragile, especially after the latest numbers that just came out. So this report just moments ago shows the U.S. economy added 22,000 jobs in August. That is very low. It's also just a fraction of the 77,000 jobs that had been expected. The unemployment rate went up to 4.3% from 4.2%. That was expected, but this is notable because this is the highest unemployment rate since October of 2021. And
the highest since 2021, guys. We were in COVID that year. We're not in COVID now. I mean, I know COVID is out there, but the pandemic in 2021 was strong. Okay, people were getting laid off. And what they're saying is we have surpassed that now. And there is no pandemic at this point.
It breaks a stretch where the unemployment rate had kind of stayed in this very low range. Still relatively low, but moving in the wrong direction. The other big news here, though, is what happened as far as revisions. We saw that July was revised a little bit higher, but more important was June. June was revised from a low number of just 14,000 jobs were added to now negative 13,000 jobs. It's not quite showing up on that bar chart, but June is the first month where the U.S. economy lost jobs since December of 2020 during COVID. So this breaks a nearly 5-year stretch of job growth, of uninterrupted job growth in the U.S. economy. That's the second longest stretch in U.S. history, but now it's over. And when we're digging into some of the sectors here, a couple things stand out. We're seeing a number of the goods producing sectors in the U.S. economy lose jobs, right? We're talking about construction lost 6,000 jobs in August. Mining and logging also lost jobs. Manufacturing lost jobs as well. 12,000 jobs for manufacturing, which is, I think, pretty notable because one of the issues in this economy is all the uncertainty over trade policy, right? Tariffs are supposed to be supporting the manufacturing industry, but instead, the manufacturing industry is actually losing jobs for 4 months in a row. This is the unemployment rate going back to 2020. You see that massive spike on the left side of the screen. Of course, that was COVID, came down dramatically, stayed at historically low levels, but now on the right side of your screen, you can see it is starting to tick higher. So I think you got to put all of this into the bigger picture, right? We've gotten a number of different indicators showing that this job market really is starting to stall out. And you're looking at U.S. markets reacting. The Dow futures were down a little bit before this. They actually came up just a tiny bit from where they were. Not a major reaction, I think, from investors. I think that's because, in a lot of ways, this report, it probably seals the deal on an interest rate cut later this month from the Federal Reserve. Wall Street was already thinking it was basically a slam dunk. And I think that this latest weakness, including the fact that the unemployment rate is up to a nearly 4-year high, I think that's probably going to seal the deal on a rate cut from the Fed, which is obviously something the White House has been calling for. Of course, they wanted a cut because of low inflation. That's probably not the reason, right? The reason would be because of low hiring.
And of course, this is the first jobs report since, the controversy over the regular reporting of jobs numbers last month. And so even these numbers could get revised in the future, but as you just laid out in June, the numbers could also get revised down.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, revisions are normal. It happens, right? As the BLS gets new survey responses in from the businesses they talk to, they're going to update their numbers just like a meteorologist who updates their hurricane forecast when they get new data. Unfortunately, these updates, though, they've been mostly coming into the downside and again showing that hiring has really stalled out here.
And it's negative in June. It's just the floor of that graph is zero.
Negative, exactly.
We can't see it.
Yep.
Matt Egan,
Thanks so much.
appreciate being on the breaking news as always. Kate?
All right, so you heard it from them. They're saying, again, unemployment is at an all-time high. It surpassed the numbers from 2021, which we were in a pandemic, guys. Okay, that's how bad the job market is. And not only that, the jobs that are out there that are hiring, nobody's applying for them. Or if they are applying for them, they're not getting hired on, even if they do apply. You know, something is going on with the job market. You know, like I said, we've stressed over EBT and food stamps, and we've stressed over Section 8. But now we're taking a look at the job market tonight to see how things are coming along as far as, you know, is things getting better? Are employers hiring? I'm hearing from a lot of people saying, you know, there's postings, there's listings, and we apply, but no callback. You know, we do the test. Some of them are overqualified and they still can't even get just a regular basic entry level position. You know, they're trying for entry level. They're trying for anything they can get their hands on, and they still can't get hired. You know, so not sure what's going on there, but the numbers don't lie, guys. So we're going to keep a lookout and an eye out on the job market as well, and just kind of see how this is going to affect things. He just said that the interest rates may go down because of that, okay, which is a good thing for the consumer. But for businesses, it's not good because they're going to be losing money that they could be receiving, you know. So, for instance, banks, you know, I work for a credit union. Guess what? If the interest rates go down, that's less money that credit union can profit off of, okay? So it's good for the consumer, but it's not good for the business that's offering those lower rates. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll keep an eye out and see how it goes, all right? So, but anyway, let's give it up, y'all. Yes. Listen, I will be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. We're going to talk about more as far as the political climate. We're going to talk about the African American community and some issues that we see as far as colorism in the Black community. Okay, we talk about racism, but we're going to talk about colorism within the Black community, how there is racism even within the Black community. And that's going to be a very, very good show. We're going to listen in on a lot of different podcasters and different shows that I listen to. And I'm going to, again, let you know my 2 cents as far as what I feel about the colorism aspect. So if you enjoy the content, guys, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you can, please hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any episodes every time I come on to YouTube. I will be back on Thursday again at 8 o'clock. I want everybody to enjoy the rest of your week. And again, I'm glad y'all made it on to Monday night. That's right. All right, so I will see everybody Thursday at 8 p.m. Everybody have a blessed week and a great, great day. Take care. Bye-bye.